wide receivers are 26 years old or younger. Jordan Love's still extremely young. It was an incredible job that Matt LaFleur did with this nucleus, and now they have another offseason to get together. The gap between them and the 49ers was razor thin, and they're young and ascending.
Darlington, who you got as the biggest 49er challenger in their conference?
Talk about young and ascending, Mike. The Detroit Lions. I'm with you. The Packers look like they too are ascending, and this kind of shows you that where the direction of the NFC right now. But the Detroit Lions are among them. You got a Hembo note? I got a Hembo note. I miss these Hembo notes. Not doing get up in the season. Lions started 12 different players in the playoffs that they drafted in the last 3 years. This is a team that is still on the up and up. They have to have a big offseason, yes. They've got to retool some different areas. But ultimately, I think that they are absolutely still contenders against the 49ers.
Harry, who you got here?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions. I'm gonna side with Jeff with this one. You also talk about a football team that has a lot of money cap space-wise and can add more guys free agency. And I think if you add a corner like L'Jarius Sneed, because I think that's one of the major needs for this football team, and also add another pass rusher to go with Aiden Hutchinson, we're talking about a Detroit Lions team that actually pushed the San Francisco 49ers and had them up 24-7 before they got allergic to running the football in the second half and making questionable fourth down decisions that kind of came back and haunted them. So I'm going to go to Detroit Lions.
Those are all good picks. I think that the 49ers face a challenge next year in their own division. I think the Los Angeles Rams had one of the surprise years of anybody this year, and they were carrying more than $70 million in dead cap money. They are positioned to get even better. They have to play the 49ers twice a year, so they'll be building with an eye toward that. I think the Rams are a sneaky challenger in the NFC next year. I really do.
Did Dan Orlovsky ask you this?
No, he did not. Orlovsky, I think, is on vacation, and we all know how he feels about the Rams. Let's stay in the NFC, though. I want to do the this year's contender wish list. We look ahead to the offseason and give me a contending team and what you wish for them this offseason. So, Jeff, start us off. Who's your NFC contender, and what should they do?
I gotta say, I love the L'Jarius Sneed edition, but that is not what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say they have to add more pass rushers opposite Hutchinson. They've got a situation right now where they had 78 pressures from Hutchinson, including the playoffs. No other Lions player had more than 25. He needs help on the other side. Add edge rushers, and the Lions will be in the Super Bowl in 2024.
Lions looking to beef up that defense. Mike T, what do you got on your contender wish list for the Philadelphia Eagles?
Draft Chop Robinson, defensive end from Penn State. Hassan Reddick apparently could be traded. Brandon Graham is close to the end. He's a free agent. This guy is tailor-made for their scheme. Great first step quickness. He's an elite pass rusher right down the road in Happy Valley, and he fills a need for the Eagles. I think this is an ideal fit for them.
Great first name, too, Chop. That'd be exciting, the idea of Chop rushing the passer. Harry, what do you got for the Packers in the contender wish list?
Yeah, I'm going to go add an offensive lineman to their young nucleus that they have offensively. They have the skill position players. In the game versus the San Francisco 49ers, this is the stat that Hembo gave me. Jordan Love was pressured 12 times in that ball game alone. So I'm going to go adding some offensive depth to that offensive line. And, you know, I just really love what I've seen from Jordan Love, especially the last 10 games of the year. You talk about a young nucleus, and the best thing that happened to their football team was them actually making the playoff, getting a win, and playing a second game in the divisional round. So they got that experience, and now they understand what it feels like to actually make the playoffs. And moving forward, I think it can pay dividends for this football team.
Yeah, arrow pointing up for Jordan Love and that very young wide receiver group around him after all the success they had. We are back on Get Up, and we have a segment called Make Me a Trade, which is different from Trader Mike's because we say it is. Mike, what trade would you like to see? Make me a trade with Justin Fields.
Yeah, this one's easy. Justin Fields to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a second-round pick. I think this makes Pittsburgh really hard to beat. I think Justin Fields is perfect for Arthur Smith. This obviously means the Bears are taking Caleb Williams. They add more draft capital. They've done a great job with that. This is a win-win for me.
Jeff, what do you think Justin Fields does for the Steelers?
Yeah, I don't know that he gets them to the championship caliber. I'm not saying that he necessarily needs to. If it's the right fit, it is. Justin Fields could make a lot of teams better, in my opinion. And to Mike's point, the Steelers are one of those teams. Could it get done? Sure, especially if, in fact, the Bears commit to picking Caleb Williams, number 1.
Right, Harry, I know you would rather see Justin Fields in Atlanta than Pittsburgh, but if he ended up in Pittsburgh, what would you think of that move?
No, I think it's another solid move. I just didn't like the quarterback play that I seen from Kenny Pickett last year, not being able to see the entire football field. I think he really struggled with that. But I think he would be a upgrade, definitely, over what they have on this roster. And we're talking about a team that made the playoffs last year. Contend for a Super Bowl, I don't know if I can take it that far, though.
And you like the fit, Mike T, because of the connection with Arthur Smith, just got hired as the OC there in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, and again, like when you look at the skill set of what Justin Fields does well, big, strong guy, great arm, really good outside the pocket. That's exactly what Ryan Tannehill did in Tennessee with Arthur Smith. And to me, the offense would be very similar, and it puts Justin Fields in a great position to be successful. I think he's a material upgrade from a talent standpoint over Kenny Pickett.
All right, well, that's one Bears trade. You have another one for us?
I sure do. While we're at it, they need another big-time wide receiver. So Stefon Diggs, who obviously has been a little bit bumpy in Buffalo, goes from the Buffalo Bills to the Chicago Bears. This gives DJ Moore and Stefon Diggs like 2 bookend wide receivers with Caleb Williams. What a dynamic offense the Bears would finally have. What the Bills get is a really good young defensive back. And Tyreek Stevenson had 4 interceptions as a rookie. When you look at what the Bills need to do, Tre'Davious White is a great player. He's been hurt. This gives them a really versatile and valuable piece in the back end. Now they have to start over with their weapons, but it just seems like it's been really noisy with Stefon Diggs in Buffalo. So to me, the Bears really help their offense. The Bills get necessary younger and deeper in their secondary.
Going with the all-Maryland star wideout core there in Chicago with Diggs and DJ Moore. Harry, what do you think of that move?
Good move for the Chicago Bears. I don't think it's a good move for the Buffalo Bills. You talk about Stefon Diggs in the last 4 years. 445 receptions, over 5,300 yards, and 37 touchdowns. He's still a number 1 wide receiver, still one of the best wide receivers in the National Football League. I just don't think this is a good trade for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, that's the question. And Jeff, I don't know if you want to lean out your window and ask the guys mowing your lawn what they think the Bills would do at wide receiver if something like this were to happen. What do you make of this one? Do you like the Chicago end of it, the Buffalo end of it, neither? What?
I think this is one of those guys, I gotta like pay him $20 just to stop. I think that's part of the deal here. He knows where I'm at. I like the idea of this, but to your point, like what's the incentive for the Bills? They better have an answer behind Stefon Diggs in terms of getting that number 1 wide receiver. I understand it might be time for Diggs to have a new bit of scenery, but it's got to come at the right cost, and the Bills have to make sure that they get it.